Today's video is going to be copper plating a knife blade. Knife making is a hobby of mine. I don't do videos on it because honestly I don't feel that my work is that good to start to try to tell people how things are done and all that type of stuff. That's just, I'm not that good yet, I don't feel anyways. But anyways, I was watching a channel, AvE, or Arduino versus Evil, whichever way you want to take it. Really cool channel, lots of informational videos. One of the ones was copper plating, and that kind of caught my eye, and I thought to myself, what would be pretty cool would be to copper plate a knife blade. But for some reason I tried multiple different ways to try to get it to copper plate the blade. Cleaned off the blade and all that type of stuff first, but it never took. I tried a 12-volt car battery. That didn't work out too well. It just kind of burnt the copper before it even got put onto the steel. I tried with a 9-volt battery, and that didn't really take either. It didn't burn the copper. The copper looked like it was sticking, but then you just go to wipe it off to clean it off a bit, and the copper would just flake off. After that I tried to use a 1.5 volt kind of like a beard trimmer charge cord, and that still didn't work. It didn't burn it. It looked nice, but as soon as you touched it, the copper would just flake right off the steel. And I know you're not supposed to copper plate steel because it will, if this coating gets scratched, it can potentially cause a galvanic reaction, which apparently eats away at the steel really fast. It wasn't important that the knife could potentially rust away really fast because this is going to be like a wall hanger. It's a display piece more than anything. It's still a functional knife. It's been heat treated and all that type of stuff, but I'm not going to go walking around town with a Karambit strapped to my hip. I'm going to have a conventional pocket knife, or if I'm out in the bush I'm going to use a regular like bushcrafting knife. It was just kind of like almost a conversation piece project. I wanted to build one. But anyway, so it turns out there's more than one way to skin a cat. I wasn't sure exactly what in the formulation was causing the copper not to stick to the steel, but I had done a knife before where I put a little copper embellishment on it, and the way I did that was using a electrolyte. Before I was using salt water and just a strand of copper wire, and just kind of went over an area I wanted to with a 9-volt battery, and that stuck really well. So I thought I'd try it with the power supply, the 1.5 volt, which worked out perfectly because if you have a dead short from your copper piece to the steel on the knife, the power supply thing just shuts right off. And so what I was doing was just using the surface tension of the water to have a bit of resistance between the copper and the steel, and that seemed to kind of etch in the copper. It's not very thick, it's not like true copper plating, but it gives the copper coloring. Anyways, going back to the original source material, the channel AvE, the guy has some very interesting lingo. I don't really know what to make of some of it, but it got me really curious about two words he says. He says skookum chucher. Turns out skookum is Native American. I think the tribe is the Chinooks, or however it's pronounced. It's their word for describing something big, strong, or mighty. And the other word, chucher, apparently is Native American slang, from what I've found so far anyways, researching. It's Native American slang for basically somebody who enjoys their own company behind closed doors quite a bit. I think I knew a guy like that one time. I think his name was Harry Palmer. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So yeah, very interesting lingo on that channel. If you are by any chance watching my video and you haven't seen any AvE videos, I highly suggest you go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description, because he does lots of cool projects and it's pretty damn funny listening to him. It's educational and entertaining at the same time. Anyways, back to the knife. So after I finished up, I don't even know what the process is called because it's not electroplating, but it does leave a thin film of copper on there. If anybody knows what it's actually called, where you just use a standard electrolyte, my electrolyte solution was baking soda and water to get the copper to seem to transfer to the steel. If anybody knows what that process is called, maybe it's a type of electroplating, I'm not sure. But it doesn't really plate onto the steel, it just gives the coloring. And actually on this one, I don't know if it's a corrosion happening or what's going on, but it leaves a kind of cool rainbow effect. Almost kind of looks like case hardening on steel. But yeah, so I just wanted some coloring to it to give it some flair. I'll end up wrapping the handle in paracord or leather or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of do this little how-to video on how you can work your way around a problem without having sophisticated equipment or anything like that. Now ideally, if I wanted to have the piece copper plated, I should have nickel plated it first and then copper plated it, because apparently that works. But I don't have any raw nickel kicking around for that project, so it might be something I have to try on another knife that I make. But anyways, thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.